So, pardon me if you can one, hear my heat going off, and two, hear the rain. I have the window open because it's 10 degrees Celsius, which I don't know in Fahrenheit. It will be here in Fahrenheit, but it's the warmest it's been all year. So, I want to air out my house. So, I have the window on, but then it got cold. So, I turned the heat back on, had the window open, and then it got cold, and I turned the heat on, and now it's like going in overdrive because my house went down to 18 degrees and now it needs to go back up to 22. But anyways, so I haven't actually filmed all week. It is Saturday. It's the Saturday before the Saturday I have to upload this, and I haven't filmed absolutely anything. I always get these grand ideas of things that I'm going to do, especially after work, and then I get exhausted and I don't have the energy to do any of them. For example, I wanted to have a recording up today by noon, and it's currently 1, and I haven't recorded the thing, nonetheless edited it. So it's just all these goals I can't meet. I don't know if that's just a me thing, if it's an ADHD thing, or if it's just everyone does this, but it is something that I do. I haven't really sat down to write at all this week, except for my class on Thursday, where I didn't pay attention for about an hour and a half, and I wrote about 1,400 words. I don't have the me shoving my phone at my computer because I reset the words without thinking about it, but it was 1,400 words for The Nature of the Beast, and I got to write a really fun scene, though I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these characters or not because they're kind of there but also not, and there's other things that could be going on, so I don't really know. It's kind of, you're writing and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to scrap all of this and rewrite it, but it's fun, so I had fun at least. And that's about the only little bit of writing that I have done recently. And I did finish Not Even Bones, as mentioned in the last vlog, and I started to read, well, rather reread, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I read this back in 2023 when it came out, and I'm interested to see if it still holds up, given I was reading it at a different time in my life. So, yeah, I think I'm on chapter 5, page 21. Chapters are usually very short in this book, and I do remember a lot of it, but I don't remember every single little bit of it. So we'll see if it still holds up. I don't have any books in my house that I haven't read that I want to read currently right now, so I do need to go book shopping, and hopefully I can take you along with me. I have a couple of books that I'm interested in, and I think I will see if I can afford it. I've been busy with school and supply teaching, but now I think I'm going to sit down and actually try to write. I'm not really into a writing mood right now, but sometimes you just have to sort of sit down and force yourself to do it, and then words go on the page. But it is, I don't know, I'm just not in a very productive mood at all lately. I haven't really been doing much. So we will see if it goes, if the words go on the page. There'll be a little time lapse and then we'll see. But yeah, I'm also going to try to record today, but there won't be any filming of that because I read off my phone when I record, and I record on my laptop. So I don't know if it's gonna work. We'll do our best, or rather, I'll do my best, and you'll watch me try. Anyways, time to try to write. A little speed up now, I guess. And if there's not, don't judge me. I tried, okay? So I ended up writing almost 800 words, 791, and I finished the chapter, but the chapter was very short, and I figured I'll just add it on to the other chapter. So now I have like a mega chapter in the middle of the book that's like 7,000 words long. So maybe it needs to be edited down, or maybe I just need to make my chapters shorter in general and add more of them, because the book is 69,000 words, almost 70,000 words, and there's only 13 chapters. So I think I might cut it down, like cut the chapters into shorter bits or add like scene breaks or things like that, just to make it more easily digestible. Because again, this chapter is almost 7,000 words long, and I have other chapters that are near that length. Yeah, so I have a chapter that's 6,400 words, and then 6,200 words, 6,500 words. So I'm thinking I might need to break them up a little bit. The first chapter, 6,354 words. But I like having long chapters. In my romance book that I'm writing, the first chapter is only like 2,000 words, and I'm like, that's tiny. But I think that's just the genre I'm also working with. This is sort of a mystery. It's a slow burn. There's not much happening. Well, there's things happening, but it's not like action packed or like short and snippy like romance books are. At least my romance book is. So I don't know. That's something I think beta readers could help me with. But I am nowhere near done this draft, and I need to edit this draft before I get it out to beta readers. Though I do intend to get this draft out to beta readers. So if you're interested, let me know in about 8 months when I finally get this done. But yeah, the writing went really well. I feel pretty good about the scene. I got to write about tarot. I love tarot so much. I need to stop incorporating it into every single one of my works, because I have a tarot scene in the romance book I'm working on, Amongst Thieves, and I have a tarot scene in The Nature of the Beast. So it's kind of like, maybe I need to chill. But yeah, the writing went well, and I feel pretty good. So, woo! I am going to be working on paper for Amongst Thieves, which I think I need to rename because I'm getting rid of the thieves aspect of the amongst. So if you have any titles, you'd have no idea what the story is about. I don't even have a summary. I haven't even uploaded a summary. So never mind. Just throw romance titles at me. Just like get me a romance title and we'll see which one sticks. We'll see. But I am going to be working on a scene in which the two characters sort of interact for the first time. And one of them is very intoxicated, and the other one is kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ. So it's going to be very fun. I'm going to write it out by hand because I feel like the rough draft for this story is best written out by hand. It lets me get a feel for the characters because I'm not that familiar with them. I came up with this story last year in about August. So they haven't been living in my head for the longest time. So I want to get to know them better. And I feel like writing them letters is the best way to do it instead of emails. So we are going to be writing, and I am excited because I get to write fun interactions, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. So I am not going to film a time skip because I'm so far away. I don't know if you heard that, but my cat just went crazy. Anyways, I'm not going to film a time skip because I am so far away. You can't see the words sort of populate on the page, and it's so slow that I have to speed it up so fast. So I will just cut from when I'm done, and then I'll maybe read you a little bit from it. We'll see. But I will see you in about half an hour. So I managed to get page 21, 22, 23, 24, and a little smidgen of 25. But I wrote the whole scene. It's definitely going to be longer and more detailed when I'm typing it up. But this is the bones. I can add the meat later, as I say a lot. But I like this scene. I think it's very cute. I am probably going to read it for the channel because I think it's cute and you might enjoy it. But yes, written and done. Miss Baby is mad because she asked me to go outside literally 30 seconds ago. So I get her into her harness. I unstick her leash because we had frozen rain and it was all stuck. I let her out and she sits there. She sits there and she yells at me. She's waiting for me to open the door. She did not even take a step outside. I had to push her that far. And by push, I mean I picked her up and set her down very gently. Oh, my door is so dirty. What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? Okay, I'll let her in. I'll stop being mean. So last time we checked in was just before I hand wrote that scene for Amongst Thieves. And I actually have typed it up. Let me see how many words this is. It was 1,400 words that I typed up, and I also recorded it for the channel, and it is up. So its link will be in the description if you're interested in hearing the scene that I wrote out by hand in this notebook and then typed up on a computer and then read aloud and noticed typos while I was reading it aloud. But that's just sort of how writing is. I haven't really been doing much writing these 2 weeks at all. Haven't really been doing much filming, so this video is going to be very short. But the writing I have been doing has been done in this little notebook. And it has all been for Amongst Thieves, which I need a new name for. Coming up with titles is the absolute bane of my existence. I just cannot do it. Coming up with The Nature of the Beast. The Nature of the Beast, which is my main project, my main novel, was called Cass and Cole, which are the two main characters' names. It was called Cass and Cole since 2021 until summer of 2025. So for 4 years, it was just Cass and Cole. And now it's The Nature of the Beast. And I don't even know if that's a good name or not, but we'll see. But I haven't been writing. I haven't been reading either. I am about this much into I'm Glad My Mom Dies, which is like a considerable chunk, but it's not too much. Jeanette is just sort of talking about how she first started getting into acting because of her mother, and you can already like see the abusive and problematic aspects of her life just from, I think she's book-wise at least 8 or 9 at this point, but it's a little rough. But I plan to finish this next week. My next week is my March break, so hopefully I'll have a lot of writing done. I also have a lot of school assignments that I need to get done, but hopefully that will be fine. But I think I am going to sit down and I'm going to try to write a little bit. I don't know if I'm actually going to write because I don't feel like writing very much, but I also know I need to, and once I start writing, I'll start to feel better because I have not been feeling too great this week. I've been very tired, so I'm hoping to try to get that started. So let us go. So I have decided I am not very much in a writing mood, so I stopped. But I got about 200 words done. It was just for planning, so it doesn't count towards the draft. But look, 69,000, almost 70,000. But nice. Also, apologies if you can hear my upstairs neighbors. They tend to like to drop things all the time, and it's very annoying. So this video is going to be late because my sister was visiting this weekend and I just didn't have time to edit on Saturday and post it. So it's a day or two late. It's either going to be Sunday or Monday that it comes out. I'm sorry about that. Also, got a haircut. It's currently up right now, but got a cute little bob. But yesterday I went to Indigo, which is like the Barnes & Noble of Canada, and I bought 3 books, none of which were the ones I actually had like written down and wanted because I forgot to bring the piece of paper. I had things written down. So I'm just grabbing, I have them stacked here. I got Anderson and Bloom, which I picked up because it's a sapphic romance and also because it's about child stars, 2 women child stars who like were on a show together and then they fall in love. And I'm reading I'm Glad My Mom Died, so the child star thing is sort of topical in my brain, and I wonder if it's a little bit inspired by Sam and Cat, that like show that Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy were on, because it does sort of seem that way. So I am very interested in this. It's a romance book. All the books I got were romance books. I didn't look very hard for other books. I just sort of grabbed romance books. So I got this one. It's about a lady who runs a flower shop, former child star, and her co-star is going to write a tell-all book. So very inspired by I'm Glad My Mom Died sort of thing. And then they reconnect and I guess they end up together, which is cute. And it's a very cute cover. So I'm excited to read that one. And then I grabbed, again, another romance. Heartstrings. Sorry, I forgot to say what. It's Anderson and Bloom by Jennifer Dugan. So I just want to make sure, give the author credit. So you will be listening to me talk about these books later on, which is nice. I'm hoping they're good. So I have medium expectations for that book, and medium expectations for this book, Heartstrings by Ivy Fairbanks. It is a romance about two people who were together and then they sort of fell apart and they're trying to get back together. One of them's like this rock star, lute star, I don't know, musician, and he's trying to win back the love of his life after they go to a wedding in, I think, Ireland. Yes, Ireland. So, second romance book I've read very recently where the male love interest is named Aiden. I guess Aiden is just a popular romance name now. But yeah, medium expectations for this. And then I'm actually very excited for this one. And Back to You by BK Borison. I really loved First Time Caller, so I'm really excited about this one. I have very high expectations, which I hope doesn't bite me in the ass. It's also the thickest book, so I'm kind of worried it might be artificially inflated, but it's about the two weather people. One's at a radio station, the other one's at a TV station that's in the same building, and they fall in love, I'm assuming. Or is she a journalist? Okay, she's a journalist. She's not a weather person. Jackson is a weather person and Delilah is a journalist. But yes, I'm excited about this one because I really liked First Time Caller. So I'm hoping they're very good. As for writing, I haven't really done much of it recently. Most of the writing I have done has been in my notebook, and it was that scene that I read out loud for everybody, which has like 2 views. So like, if you want to check it out, go ahead. But I know I'm not good at reading audio. Sorry, that's pity marketing. Never mind. Shut up. Ignore that. Watch it if you want to. If you don't want to, it's fine. I don't care. I do care a little bit, but I'm not going to come to your house and cry. But I haven't been doing as much writing, but it is my March break. So instead of reading week for Teachers College, you get a March break. It's my March break. I have a lot of assignments I need to do, but I also want to write a lot. So I think I mentioned this in the last clip, like the writing clip where I'm like showing my screen, but I changed the deadline for The Nature of the Beast to be May 31st. And so I told my partner on June 1st, I will have it printed out and in your hands, and you will read it and edit it for me. Like, it will be done. Like the draft part, not the editing part, just like the whole like draft will be written. And I told my partner that, and my sister was visiting this weekend. I said, I need another person to hold me accountable, because my partner will just be like, oh, you didn't get it done. It's okay. Well, actually, he's kind of a hard ass, so he might actually get mad at me if I don't do it. But my sister is also agreeing to do it. So I have 2 people relying on me to get it done and in their hands by June 1st. And I'm like, oh, I have 2 months. I only need to write like 30,000 words. It's going to creep up. It's going to come fast. But I do thrive under deadlines. And I am trying to like get more inspired to write. I was talking about books with my sister when she was here. Just talking about books just sort of inspires me to write a lot more. I want to write. I want my book to be published. I want people to read it. And so I'm just I have that writing mojo. I just gotta like get into it. I have not been sleeping that well recently because I've been staying up late because my sister was over and we had all that fun stuff. But I am hoping to do some more writing, and hopefully for The Nature of the Beast and not Amongst Thieves, because I keep writing the romance book and I need to work on my actual draft. But yes, I have 3 new books to read. I'm really excited about that. I'm glad my mom died with me right now, but I read about, I think 20 pages of it yesterday. It's kind of like depressing to read. You like read about her mom abusing her and you're just like, holy shit. And like, you know, just like the people pleasing aspect that Jeanette has is like so ingrained in me. So it's kind of like, oh God, like I'm also like this. Not as severe, but it's still just like, oh. So that book it's just very slow. And my boyfriend wants me to read Fahrenheit 451 after. And I'm like, I just want a like cute romance book in between reading I'm Glad My Mom Died. and Fahrenheit 451, but I think Fahrenheit 451 will be my next book. Apparently it's only like 160 pages, so I can crank that out maybe a weekend. So hopefully. But I'm glad my mom died done by the end of March break, preferably by Wednesday, which gives me like 3 days to read all of it. So I better actually start reading. But if you enjoyed this vlog, thank you so much for coming along with me. Leave a like if you like it, and subscribe if you want to hear more. I hope you have a wonderful day and a lovely weekend or week. And if it's a work day, I hope you survive. Have a good day. Bye.